Hey, what up, all you maniacs? Maniac Mansfield, TJ Talley. We are coming at you with our WWE SummerSlam 2020 predictions. Tyler, how you doing?
I am well. I cannot wait for tonight NXT Takeover number 30. Plus, you got AEW on tonight because of the NBA
Meh.
playoffs Saturday this week. So overall, it's just gonna be a good wrestling weekend. I'm super excited, especially since drumroll please, we hit the Thunderdome.
Yes!
Okay, I was trying to draw that out, but that was way too long, longer than I wanted. But yes, me and Josh are in the Thunderdome tomorrow.
For
The only thing
SummerSlam.
bad about it is we got different time slots. Yes, they go by time slots sometimes. I got 10, he got 10:30. So we don't get the same spots or same time. So we'll be on different times. So just look for us on the video board tomorrow. I'll be in a Bray Wyatt Fiend shirt. I don't know what Josh is wearing, but I'm wearing a Fiend shirt because obviously the Fiend is my dude, but he's scary as hell.
Well, considering that most of my wrestling shirts are all back at YSU, not gonna lie, I'll probably just wear a Sasha Banks shirt for her old NXT shirt. Either that or a Roman Reigns or something, I don't know. But yeah, we both got into the Thunderdome for SummerSlam, and we both got into the Thunderdome for Raw, because that one is not going fast. So like SmackDown sold out in like 20 minutes. I think like 20 or so, 20 or like 40 minutes. SummerSlam sold out very quickly. Um, Raw, it's still up after like an hour. So we're not sure about that, but we both got in, which is surprising to both of us. But either way, as of the time of recording, there are 8 matches scheduled for SummerSlam. No kickoff match has been announced yet. But if the kickoff match is announced while we are recording, we will put that in. Match stipulations have changed since Friday night, which is why we always wait till Saturday to record these. But either way, let's get started. We are going to start off with the United States Championship match. Apollo Crews defends against MVP with Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley, banned from ringside. Tell me who you got.
Okay, first off, I just want to say I got a tweet. So Raw has reached its maximum capacity for Monday night's Thunderdome. So yeah, I mean it was a little longer than probably what they would have liked. But yeah, so now it's closed. Okay, so that's that. Moving on. This match, I could see it going one or two ways. I don't know. MVP just re-signed for a few years. Uh, but WWE really doesn't want Apollo Crews as United States champion.
Vince McMahon doesn't want Apollo Crews as the United States champion. He was a Paul Heyman project. A
Yes,
Paul Heyman guy.
plus with the Hurt Business and everything, I think if you want to make them a legit group or a trio or whatever you want to call them, they have to have some sort of goal. So I'm gonna say we got our first title change. I'm going MVP.
I'm gonna go with MVP as well, actually. It makes sense, and how I'm gonna see it is MVP, Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley are banned from ringside. Apollo Crews pinned MVP on Raw. But there's another factor in this that I think people aren't seeing. And I think we're going to have a heel turn on SummerSlam. And there will be interference by Cedric Alexander.
I was thinking that too. I did forget about that, but yeah, that it did look like he was maybe considering it. So yeah, I could see it happening.
Because you think about it this way, Cedric Alexander and you have MVP win the U.S. title. Cedric and Shelton can win the tag titles. Lashley can win the 24/7 title. Because let's be honest, who's actually going to be able to pin him for it?
No, I
I don't
think
think
I think
WWE title again anytime soon.
Shelton should have the 24/7 title. They haven't really done anything with him but give him the 24/7 title, really.
I mean,
So
they teamed him with uh, Chad Gable, Shorty G, a few years back once Jason Jordan went to Raw, but that's about it. Which you always have to feel bad for the legends coming back and not
yeah,
being done much. Like, they know that they're there to help build up new stars, but at the same time, don't treat them like trash.
yeah, I agree with that.
So I'm going to go with MVP to win this via shenanigans. And then Apollo Crews can go right back down the card. Back to Job Squad.
Yeah, probably.
Which is basically, what that 6-man tag match was. Unfortunately. And which is sad because Mustafa Ali is great, and so is Ricochet. Alright, so the next match for the Raw Tag Team titles, the Street Profits defend against Andrade and Angel Garza. What do you got for this? This is a tough one for me.
It is too. I really like the Street Profits, but let's be honest here. Ever since they've been the tag champs, they haven't really done much with them. I mean, it's the way they've been booked. They've been booked in a silly feud with the Viking Raiders. I almost call them the Viking Profits because that's what they're called now. Or well, they're still the Viking Raiders, but them two together, the Viking Profits. But they've been stuck in this stupid storyline with them. Then they beat them, and then you have two legitimate contenders in Angel Garza and Andrade. And then you run the storyline where Zelina Vega poisoned Montez
That was
Ford.
dumb.
Yeah, I would say the booking for this storyline really hasn't been there, like it has been for another match down the card, which we'll discuss. But yeah, I'd like the Street Profits, but I just don't necessarily know if they're going to win. There has been some dissension in between Andrade and
Angel Garza.
Yeah, I had a brain fart there. Angel Garza. But all in all, I don't know. I mean, they lost too much, and Andrade is a former U.S. champ, so him losing and stuff like this pretty much all the time now, I don't know. I guess if I'm going to have to choose here, and this is honestly a split, I'm gonna say we have new tag champs. I'm gonna say Andrade and Angel Garza. I don't want to. I think the Street Profits deserve a longer run than they have because they didn't have the NXT titles for that long. I feel they deserve a long and meaningful run, but so far it hasn't been meaningful just because of the booking.
That's fair, which you can't really. You have to blame Vince for that, honestly. They have fan support, so. But if WWE plans on going full stream ahead with the Hurt Business, and for them to eventually win the title, like the tag titles, then I think you have to have the Street Profits retain here. And especially with the dissension between Andrade and Garza, I think that's going to come back to bite them. And we're going to get a feud between those two, which I think would be a really good feud. They're very athletic, they're good. I've even said I haven't been the biggest Andrade fan or the biggest Garza fan, but put the two of them together in a match against each other, I think that'd be really something to see. It's because I don't think there's enough teams right now. So to have new champions, like who are they going to defend against?
They could win the titles, defend it against the Street Profits again at Payback because it's honestly a week from tomorrow. I mean, yeah, there's another pay-per-view, so we'll probably have to do another predictions video next Saturday at some point. But
we'll
thank
you, WWE.
But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But yeah, like you said, there's not that many tag teams. Honestly, what they should do is just combine both titles and have the champs, like they do with the women's champs, float between Raw and SmackDown. And if you want to stick them on NXT to pop some ratings, then by all means, throw them on SmackDown or NXT every Wednesday to pop some ratings.
See, here's the issue with that. NXT already has its own tag team titles. The only reason Sasha and Bayley are going between all three brands right now is because they're the women's tag title champions. That's the only reason that they can. And that's the main reason why Sasha and Bayley are doing what they're doing.
Yeah, but think about this. If they would just combine them and say like the Street Profits have them, okay, well they can flow between each show. They go to NXT, guess what? They can face Imperium. They can face teams like Breezango, which honestly I think that would be a hell of a match in my opinion.
Street Profits versus Breezango? Hell yeah.
And then you got teams down there like Legado del Fantasma, Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch, which they're hard hitters. You know, the possibilities would be endless. But like I said, right now, like you said, there's not enough tag teams. So on Raw, you got
Vince doesn't like tag team wrestling because he doesn't understand tag team wrestling. AEW. Yeah, I know.
That's honestly where tag team wrestling is, but I ain't gonna get into that right now.
Yeah, SmackDown has it too. I mean, I would say the best tag teams right now in WWE are Shinsuke and Cesaro and the New Day. Personally. But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about SmackDown. This is a Raw match. So, yeah, Street Profits to win for me. Yeah, let's get into a SmackDown match. Specifically, the SmackDown Women's title match. Bayley versus Asuka. This match is going first due to Naomi pinning Bayley in the Beat the Clock challenge that was this past Monday on Raw, meaning Bayley has to defend her title against Asuka before Sasha defends her title against Asuka. So, we've already started to see the dissension between Sasha and Bayley. So for this match, Bayley retains. I think that's obvious. I don't think it's... there's no reason to put Asuka on SmackDown at all. Raw's women's division needs to be better. In all honesty. Because you can't just... Because if you do that, then you have just Sasha and Shayna. Basically. As the top women.
Yeah.
You have Talley, you have Mickie James. They're doing their own thing, but that's neither here nor there. You have Iconic versus Riot Squad, but I don't know. I just think Bayley retains due to Sasha's interference.
So here's my thing. I like the booking, but the rumor going around is WWE might put both belts on Asuka and then have her get a tag team partner or just do it by herself and win the tag team titles, and she holds every single bit of gold. Personally, I wouldn't mind that because I like Asuka and I feel like she does need a meaningful title run, just like everyone else has kind of been screwed out of having a meaningful title run.
Which isn't their fault, it's everything else going on.
But her going against Bayley first, I think she'll lose just because the seeds have been planted for that Bayley-Sasha feud finally, and I think they're finally going to pull the trigger because fans are back in a way with the WWE Thunderdome. But yeah, I think Bayley's going to find a way to cheat to win and retain because she came up on the short end of the stick last night during the Beat the Clock challenge. So yeah, I think Bayley's gonna retain.
Yeah. So let's go into the next match, which is probably going to be the next match right after this. Yeah, we're talking about Bayley and Sasha. Raw Women's title match: Sasha Banks versus Asuka. Asuka's doing double duty, which I mean, to be fair, once Stephanie announced that it was a tri-brand match, you sort of figured another person from a different brand was going to win for the SmackDown title. So having Asuka win for the SmackDown title doesn't make sense. Now, Asuka is a Raw superstar. I'm going to say Asuka wins the title back. Bayley attempts to interfere, but it backfires, and Bayley tries to attack Asuka, misses and hits Sasha, and Asuka retains. Rather, Asuka wins the title, excuse me. And that's where the dissension really starts. And then you have them lose the tag titles down the line, and that's when you finally get Sasha versus Bayley for the SmackDown Women's title. At this point, looking at either, I'd say by Hell in a Cell or Survivor Series.
I think it'll happen before that or whatever is after Payback.
I think if they lose the tag titles at the September pay-per-view.
No, they're going to lose them at Payback.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I really do. Because, like I said, what I read is Asuka's supposed to win both belts and then win the tag titles. What I could honestly see happening, I'm going to pick Asuka for this match. I just, like you said, there's going to be some screw away, and Asuka's going to be the new Raw champion. The Raw champ is actually going to be a Raw champion, not a SmackDown champion. No disrespect to Sasha Banks, but it's going to be a Raw champion on Raw. Okay, so we're going to set that straight right now. But I think either Asuka's going to find a partner and try to win the tag titles, or hell, I wouldn't even mind if it's Shayna, honestly. Them two just looked rough.
The two of them together, oh my.
They looked rough on Monday.
Who the heck could take the titles away from those two?
But with the Riot Squad returning, it's still kind of early for them, until they get their feet back on the ground. And they're feuding with the Iconics right now. So I could see one of those teams winning the women's tag team titles down the road, but will it happen a week from tomorrow? No. I think Asuka finds a partner, finds a way to win, and they are new women's tag team champions. But I'm going to pick.
You know what? I may have to change a takeover prediction now.
Why?
You know who I think her tag team partner is going to be?
Who?
If it does happen? Io Shirai.
Io is if the betting odds are right, I'm telling you right now, Io's not losing.
That's fair, but I feel like if Dakota Kai does win the NXT Women's title, I think right there that's a sign.
I don't think she'll call Io. I mean, her and Io are close, but I would honestly like to see Shayna and Asuka, because that would just be.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my goodness! You ain't no one taking them titles.
Charlotte and Becky eat your hearts out.
Jesus.
Oh my goodness. That would be. You got Charlotte and Becky, Sasha and Bayley, then Asuka and Shayna. Oh.
Yeah.
Or even better, if there's a never see it coming, and the rowdy one. Little Miss Rowdy returns. Ronda and Shayna.
I could see that happening, but oh man, I don't know. I don't think it'll happen. If Ronda does ever come back, they're not going to demote her to the tag titles. They won't do it.
I mean, if it's next year, we need to see 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen. We need to see that.
Yeah, that's if Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke can not be as green as they are. They're still, I mean, they've been there for a while, but they're still very, very, very green.
Right.
So.
Yeah, Shayna and Ronda are the ones who have transitioned the best. Shayna, I'd say, more than Ronda.
Well, that's because she's been doing it longer.
Right. All right.
She went through independence before she got to NXT. Then she got to NXT, now she's on the main roster. So she's been on the independent scene, just like Matt Riddle has coming from UFC. He's been on the independents, and they both transitioned from the MMA, to wrestling. So.
Right. All right. We're off topic, per usual.
Yeah, it happens.
We all divulge into some kind of rants. All right. This match I'm looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to this match. Street fight. Seth Rollins with Murphy versus Dominic Mysterio, accompanied by his dad, Rey Mysterio. Wow, this is going to be, for those who have been watching WWE since 2005, seeing Dominic grow up like this and seeing him in a ring now,
it's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. Because I'm pretty sure I first saw Dominic on SmackDown 2010 with the whole straight edge society thing.
Yeah.
But seeing Dominic in a match, this is interesting, especially with the fact that I'm 3 days older than him. So, like, he looks good. He does. Is he still probably pretty green? Yes. Did he need to take those endo shots a few weeks ago? Absolutely not. Are people saying he should be in NXT first and shouldn't be up at the main roster with his first match on flippin' SummerSlam because his dad's Rey Mysterio? Yes, people are saying that. Granted, Fandango beat Chris Jericho in his debut match at WrestleMania, so who are we to complain? But this match, I think this is going to finally end Rollins and Mysterio feuds, and I'm gonna pick Dominic Mysterio. I don't think there's a reason for Dominic to lose in his very first match. A street fight, I think, aids Dominic more than Seth, just because with Dominic being green still in his first match, it protects him, I think, with how he's gonna rep. Because this isn't gonna be a wrestling match; it's gonna be a fight. You know, someone will bring a steel chair down to the ring. Dominic will bring a kendo stick. So yeah, I'm picking Dominic Mysterio.
I like the way you think. I'm gonna pick Dominic as well, but here's what I disagree with you on. You don't think that Dominic should have took those kendo shots? I think he should have. Seth Rollins did say it was going to be an initiation into the main roster.
I've heard that too.
So if you think about it, if initiated for anything, or you have to have initiation to get into somewhere, it's always something ridiculous or stupid or something that's like climbing a damn mountain. Okay, so that's one hell of an initiation. I'll give it that. But he took those shots to be initiated onto the main roster. Now about the NXT talk, should he go to NXT? Maybe. We don't know. We haven't seen him actually wrestle a match. Is he green? Yeah, maybe. Probably. Like I said, we don't know because we haven't really seen a match. The thing I will say this, though, I forget if it was Joe or Seth Rollins that said he had no experience inside the ring. That is wrong. He actually has been training the last few years with his father, Rey Mysterio, and Lance Storm. So he knows
AJ Lethal.
Yeah, so he knows his way around the ring. He knows how to run ropes, and he knows the basics and stuff like that. Now, does he know how to put on a good match? That remains to be seen because, like I said, we don't know. We have not seen him wrestle a match. So this is his debut match. We have seen him kind of just throw clotheslines and stuff, but, no really match. I think a lot of people will be surprised, but I think the X factor in this match is going to be Aleister Black. And they say you never see it coming. I feel like Dominic's gonna win. The lights might go out or something like that, and we're gonna get a new heel, Aleister Black, that's gonna join Seth Rollins, and he's gonna kick Dominic's head off tomorrow night. I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but I'm just throwing something wild out because they say you're never going to see it coming, which I hate how they're doing these little punchlines now for every show. Why couldn't it just be just the show? But
especially with SummerSlam, it's already a big four. Just keep it biggest party of the summer. That's your usual tagline for SummerSlam. Just keep it that. But
you're never
most dumb one.
You're never going to see it coming. So that's what I'm going to say. You ain't going to see Aleister Black coming and kicking Dominic's head off tomorrow.
See, I don't think that'll happen. I think Rollins will maybe try and have a couple other people try and run interference. I think Samoa Joe will come off commentary and come to the aid of Dominic and Rey. Because you've seen Joe do that before. Like, on commentary, Joe might be heel. When it comes to Rollins and Rey and Dominic, Joe's kind of switched sides with that.
I wouldn't mind seeing Joe back in the ring. I mean, you go back to the ROH days then if you got that with Samoa Joe versus Tyler Black or in this case Seth Rollins.
Right. I think that'd be really good. Especially with the storyline that Ray and Joe had last year to see Joe, come to the aid of Ray and Dominic. I think that'd be really good. But I don't see Black turning heel. I hope they don't. They really missed an opportunity last year when they had Ricochet and Aleister Black teaming together. They should have won the tag titles last year without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, Aleister Black deserves a main title run, a singles title run. He is that good. He has a good character. It's an ominous character that, well, I think he's changing it because Vince doesn't like his character. But he had this like ominous, character. But if you don't give him a second, because if not, your head's getting kicked off your shoulders, and that's all there is to it.
I mean, one thing I think would be good to see is now Mr. Black, he needs to work on his ominous character, especially with The Undertaker being retired now. Ironically, on an interview with Mario Lopez, The Undertaker's daughter said that her favorite WWE superstar, besides her dad, was Aleister Black.
That's what I'm saying. Keep the ominous character. Bring it back. He's doing all right. Maybe he needs a little mic work, but everything else is clicking. Actually, he doesn't even need mic work. His promos are fire, just like Samoa Joe. But that's neither here nor there. But if he's going to come back, at least keep him in the ominous character, but turn him heel. Do something with him. Make him exciting.
This is Vince McMahon we're talking about, though.
I don't care who we're talking about. Make this dude exciting. He's exciting, but like I said, he feels like he's missing that one thing, like Cesaro.
The one thing is, Vince doesn't like it.
Yeah.
See, if hopefully Shane cannot take control of Raw soon enough, in my opinion, because Shane won't be his dad's yes man.
No, and hopefully when people get over by themselves, it can be just fine. Because
Zack Ryder.
Rusev also was like, yeah, we got it over, and Vince was just pretty much told me, like, yeah, they just mock you. With everything on the website, he was moving merch like crazy. Everything was selling out.
Mm-hmm.
But he wouldn't even have a segment on, and they'd be chanting Rusev Day or Lana Day or Aiden Day or whatever day of the week it was. Okay. So yeah, okay. Look, let's get back on topic because
what does this have to do with Seth Rollins versus Dominic Mysterio?
Exactly. Look, we both picked Dominic. That's all what you guys need to know. We remember. Okay, let's move on. Get focused again. Whew, I'm fired up now.
So am I. But all right, next match, which I'm really excited about. Well, I'm like this match is going to be good. There's a lot riding on this. I think it's kind of hard to decide, especially with recent events. And the match stipulation was just recently changed, probably because of recent events. A no disqualification, loser leaves WWE match, Sonya Deville versus Mandy Rose. This match was originally hair versus hair. I think they changed it because of a recent attempted kidnapping of Sonya Deville. So that way, I'm going to pick Mandy Rose for this. Just because I think Sonya needs time off. If you saw SmackDown, she still looked shaken up. So did Mandy Rose. Which still could be from last week, but also with what happened. I think it'll be Sonya so she can take time off, be on trial with everything, and take care of this. So I'm going with Mandy Rose. Because Sonya's kind of dominated this feud, and so I think Mandy needs to win this.
See, here's my thing on it.
I know where you're going with this. You're going in the way I hope you don't go. I hope it doesn't.
Who do you think I'm going to pick?
You're going with Sonya Deville.
Yeah, I am.
And I know I'm going with Sonya Deville.
Why? Why am I going with Sonya Deville?
Otis begs Sonya to let Mandy stay.
No.
Sonya says yes.
That was a rumor. I don't follow that rumor. Could it come true? Yes. I don't know if it can.
I hope it doesn't.
But this is why I'm picking Sonya Deville. I'm not saying Mandy's not talented, but she could be a model. She can wrestle, yes. But the star power coming from the difference between them two right now, the star power coming off Sonya Deville, between the star power coming off Mandy Rose, it's like night and day. Sonya Deville's up here and Mandy Rose is down here. Sure, she's had some good stuff with Otis. I'd like to see that stuff continue, honestly, in my opinion. I don't know what Otis is going to do with the Money in the Bank. He's held it now since he won it, obviously. But
I know what Otis can do with the
I
Money
just,
in the Bank.
I just think I just think that Sonya Deville right now is just on a different level than Mandy Rose. I'm not saying Mandy Rose is bad at all, because she can go. She really can. I'm just saying right now with the promos and everything else, Sonya Deville's just on another level. Obviously, some real world situations could come into play, and she might have to step away, like Josh said. We don't honestly know. I haven't heard anything. As being the news guy, I haven't heard anything about this. But as far as I know for right now, I'm picking Sonya Deville because, just like I said, everything that she does is just on another level than what Mandy Rose has been doing.
That is possible. Really though, if Mandy leaves, like, what do you do with Otis? Like, Otis has been in nowhere land with Money in the Bank, just like Damian Sandow was, just like Daniel Bryan was. I mean, you sort of forget that he has it, which is a shame. I mean, I know what Otis can do with Money in the Bank. He can drop it to AJ Styles. Now that AJ Styles is longer.
No, you know what's gonna happen? Like, the Fiend is gonna beat the holy hell out of Braun, and Braun's gonna beat the holy hell out of the Fiend, and Otis is gonna cash in tomorrow.
I've heard that. We're getting that match next, but I've heard that.
Hey, Josh, guess what? You'll never see it coming.
There would be a riot. But
how is it gonna be a riot? Other people can do on the virtual board is boo, okay? And it'll probably be in your time slot, okay? So what are they gonna do? Kick people out of the chat or
people
the video?
leave on their own. I don't know. It just I don't. Otis is Mr. Money in the Bank. Just no. Just AJ, I think, needs to go after Otis now. Because technically, AJ got it. He had it. And then he dropped it.
Oh, well, you just gotta be in the right place at the right time. And Otis was in the right place at the right time.
We'll see. But yeah, Mandy Rose to win, I think. Right. Speaking of Otis and Money in the Bank, Flawless Count Anywhere match for the Universal title, Braun Strowman versus The Fiend. I think this Flawless Count Anywhere stipulation, which was just added this morning on Talking Smack, which is back. Unfortunately, I don't think Renee Young anymore because she's leaving
AEW.
I'm gonna miss her.
I heard that's probably more than likely her next move.
I've heard different things, but because she has other things she wants to do, so maybe not necessarily AEW, but Universal title match. Braun versus Fiend. This stipulation, I think, is a way to make sure whoever loses doesn't look weak.
Do you want to pick it first? Do you want me to pick first?
I know where you're going. I still don't know, so yes, you pick first. I'm just gonna write your pick down.
So here's the thing. We were talking about Otis. I don't think he's going to cash in. The only way I can see him cashing in tomorrow, and this is the False Count Anywhere stipulation, is if the Fiend gets separated by Braun long enough for a 3-second pin and a cash in. That's the only way I see it happening because the Fiend isn't getting pinned. I could see the Monster getting pinned, but even then, he could freaking destroy Otis before he even gets to cash in. I don't think he's going to. I honestly think Otis is still waiting for a creative reason for him to cash in on the tag titles. So him and what's his name? What's his tag partner?
Tucker.
Yeah. So them two can be tag champs. I have a brain fart. Don't know why. But yeah. So I don't think that
That's because have you actually seen Heavy Machinery as a tag team lately?
Yeah. So I think he's just gonna wait and cash in on the tag titles at some point. But Yeah, so I don't think we're gonna get a cash in this match, but I just think the way that they've been booking this whole storyline, the key factor in this is Alexa Bliss, or which way she's gonna go. Is she gonna
Oh
be
yeah.
is she going to be siding with the monster Braun Strowman, or is she going to be Sister Abigail and be with the Fiend? We don't know. This whole storyline is weird, but I actually like it, and it makes Braun look like somewhat of a decent champion. That is all I'm going to say about that. I'm picking the Fiend here, obviously, because that's my guy, and I'll never pick against the Fiend, even if I take a loss. I ain't picking against him. But I will say this. With the way they have booked this storyline, I like it. Alexa did caress the face of the Fiend, so maybe she goes with Sister Abigail. Maybe there's some weird love, spooky love thing between them. I don't know. Okay, I'm willing. I can't wait to find out, honestly. But I just
If they turn Alexa Bliss into Sister Abigail, and like reveal that she was Sister Abigail the whole time, but that and Bray just makes it think like we all corrupted her into thinking she was something else, but then she came home, and then you have Alexa Bliss versus Nikki Cross kind of thing. That would be really interesting.
well, I also think that Nikki Cross could be Sister Abigail this whole time. I mean, she was Insanity and she played a crazy chick. Uh, but back to my point of this whole storyline, it's been kind of making the Fiend look very, very strong, and Braun just doesn't really seem like he's not represented really as a champion. This is the only storyline that made it actually seem like he was a decent champion, in my opinion. But just the way that they booked everything, especially last night with Braun absolutely getting beat down by Retribution and then taking his frustrations out, and then he beat up Bray Wyatt, who turned into the he beat up Bray Wyatt, and then he came back out of the ambulance as the Fiend. That's just saying, hey, you can't stop the Fiend. The Fiend's here. What are you going to do to pretty much kill me?
Run into the big dog.
Okay, look, we're not talking about Roman Reigns right now. We're talking about the Fiend, okay?
Am I wrong though?
No,
Am I wrong?
you're really not wrong. But
Let's be completely honest here. If it wasn't for Goldberg coming back, the Fiend would have lost to Reigns at WrestleMania.
Honestly, I would have probably been okay with that. I don't really like the Fiend taking losses. If you would have took a loss as Bray Wyatt, fine. The Fiend is this character that's kind of like Demon Finn, to where he's this scary ass character that he can't lose. And he has like these superhuman powers.
Well, that's the Seth Rollins in Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Well, that was stupid. That was just bad booking. But yeah, like Demon Finn and the Undertaker and people like the Fiend, they have like these ominous like superpowers that they can't lose. So the Fiend taking a loss to Goldberg out of all people really sort of messed up his character. Had to get him back on track. He got him back on track for WrestleMania. The whole thing with John Cena. A lot of people didn't like it, but I did. But the Fiend character getting back on track, I don't think he can take another loss, especially losing to Goldberg, even though that was over 5-6 months ago. I just think another loss for the Fiend really wouldn't help him, and like I said, it doesn't help him. So I just think the Fiend would have to win this match.
Yeah, I'm going with the Fiend. I'm also going to go with the Fiend as well. I mean, you think about Braun's had a good run, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and with how we're doing with the Thunderdome. I think it all depends. Yeah, I'm going to go Fiend. Will Retribution interfere? Maybe. We'll see. Over Retribution. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about Retribution, honestly. They don't look formidable, if I'm being honest. Like, you have the entire SmackDown locker room come out and chase them away.
Here's the thing that I read. They said The Miz might be behind it all. Because if you think about it, he ran out very, very late, and he didn't do anything. He didn't fight him off. Then the week before, he did something to where he didn't have to fight him off. So they're saying the Miz could be it, but I don't really necessarily know if the Miz, being like the Hollywood A-lister, would have this type of power. I guess it really wouldn't make sense for him to have a group like this. I could maybe see a Dominic Dijakovic from NXT being the leader, or even Tommaso Ciampa, but the Miz, I don't know. I do like the group. I think it's nice. It's something different. They do some stupid stuff that they don't show, like the car. Show them tipping the car. Show them beating the hell out of the car. And they're tipping it and then beating the hell out of it, instead of just, we're going to cut it and they're just jumping on a random car that's tipped over. Stuff like that. But I don't know.
There ain't no nexus.
I did hear one thing though. Team Retribution versus Team WWE at Payback.
That'll be interesting. I think the thing that damaged it was that they announced it beforehand. That damaged it, in my opinion. I think if they would have just not done that and just been like, "Oh, shit's going on." Excuse me, but yeah, and then show this, it would have been more like, "What the heck's going on?" Would have got more people talking. So will Retribution interfere in this? I don't know. But either way, Fiend to win. One match to go. Oh boy. This is the match above all that I really don't flippin' know. Because I feel like this is you'll never see it coming. I think this is it. WWE title match. Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. You go first.
Okay, so I did read a few interesting things on this match. The thing I will say, though, is, man, I don't know, because I heard that they're going to have Randy Orton win the title, hold it to WrestleMania, and fight Edge, and he could even hold it past WrestleMania. Orton being a part-timer now, I don't really necessarily know how I would feel him holding the belt. I mean, he could do what Brock does and disappear for a period of time and come back, but I just don't know if that's going to be that. But then I heard there's top executives that absolutely don't want Drew McIntyre to lose, and the way he's been booked has been pushed to the gills. He's on fire. Randy Orton's on fire. This is like the UFC heavyweight title match last week with Stipe Miocic and Daniel Cormier. It was two big heavyweights just getting there to slug it out. Obviously two different sports, but that's kind of what it's like. You don't know who's going to win. You don't really, it's just one of those things. If I had to guess, though, I guess Randy Orton. I can see the WWE title changing hands too. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Orton, but if I'm wrong, I'll be happy to be wrong because I do like Drew as champion. But man, this is one of those ones where it's a pick'em, is what they call it when the betting odds come out. This is like a pick'em fight. I'm gonna pick Orton, but man, I still don't believe it that I want him to win, but I have to go with Orton. I think he's gonna be a 14-time champ.
This match is really hard for me to pick too. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen the betting odds, so I don't know what the betting odds say. And to be fair, sometimes I don't agree with the betting odds. Sometimes I'm right with that, sometimes I'm not. I'm going to play it safe. This is Drew's biggest challenge to date. If you want to make Drew look good and make him look strong, look at what Orton's done. I think this match is the make it or break it match for Drew McIntyre, period. Orton has taken out Edge, taken out Christian, taken out The Big Show, taken out Ric Flair, and now taken out Shawn Michaels. I think something has to give. Either Orton wins now and loses at Payback, or Drew wins and Orton wins at Payback. I right now we need a tiebreaker with the matches we have. Sorry, where's it?
No, you're.
Drew McIntyre. Vince is high on Drew. Vince also needs to realize that you can't blame everything on the current champion. Vince tends to blame every other person but himself when things go down. Part of that is because writers don't stand up to Vince and say, this is crappy. No. And half the time when they do, they get fired. So, I'm going to hope this is one time where Bruce, Shane, and everyone say, no, Drew needs to win. And I think if you heard their promo from a few weeks ago, when Drew talked about what Orton had said on the last ride of what The Undertaker did for Orton, with letting Orton get a lot of offense and moves in his match in 2002, and Vince being mad at Taker for doing that, and Taker saying, we got to build up the kid. I think Orton, is going to pay that forward. Even though Drew is a new guy, really, Orton realizes that with Reigns out and Rollins being sort of a flop, Raw needs a big star. That isn't just him. I think Orton is going to lose this because he knows that they need to build Drew up. And a win over Randy Orton, I think, is what's going to do it. So I pick Drew McIntyre to retain.
So this whole you're not going to see it, or you're not going to see it coming type deal. An interesting theory came up, but it's not why I picked Orton. I just, like I said, this is one of those pick and fights where you just got to pick someone to win pretty much. But a theory going around is since the lights turned out on Ric Flair, technically he didn't really kick him. Flair is just selling this. He'll be back tomorrow and he's going to cost Drew the title. Could it happen? Yeah, I could see it because the lights went out, so we don't honestly know if he kicked him or not. Will it happen? I don't know, but that's not why I picked it. Like I said, you just one of those pick 'em things that you gotta pick someone. Orton holding the belt for 8 months though, before dropping it to maybe Edge or someone else, I don't think that would probably be a good thing unless Orton's gonna be on TV for the next 8 months straight, and then take a little break like after WrestleMania or something. But like I said, it's just one of those things you got to pick.
Orton's got the Cena schedule at this point. He comes when he wants. Because he's got that, he's got that Cena status. He's, got that Cena Lesnar status, basically, where he can come when he wants or not. So, and I think they realize that they need the champion on TV. Because we don't want Orton to pull a Brock Lesnar.
I think if Orton does win this, he won't pull a Brock Lesnar. I think he'll miss a few weeks of TV here and there. He'll be on TV. You know what I mean? Like he'll be on TV for say 3 weeks, and then he might get 2 weeks off. And then he'll be back for 3 weeks and get 2 weeks off. If it's something like that, I probably really wouldn't mind it because the champ is still on TV or cutting promos or stuff like that. Or even if he takes a promo or something on one of his off weeks where he's not in the arena, that's fine too. At least you're on TV. The belt's on TV. Unlike when Brock took it, he just took it and went home. Oh, and then it's a big show where he's just going to show up.
Right. I mean, if Orton wins the title, I feel like he needs to defend it. Since he's been taking out legends, I feel like he needs to take on legends. But at the same time, WWE needs to stop relying all the time on bringing back legends and everything every time they get cold feet over something. They need to build up new stars. But Vince has not been doing that right because he's building up the stars he wants and not the stars the WWE Universe wants. For example, Reigns. But people have sort of been like, okay, everything that has been going on with Reigns, we accept him now. Drew, everyone has been behind Drew. People were getting behind Rollins, but I think the Fiend situation derailed that completely. So I feel like WWE needs to realize their mistakes, learn from their mistakes. That's funny though, to be honest. And keep the title on Drew. Orton doesn't need the title. No,
I agree. He
I
does
really did right. One thing I liked is if they something that Orton suggested on Twitter, which is part of why I think Orton has a lot of creative control, honestly. And if Orton has creative control over this match, right now I think Drew's going to retain. Orton suggested in not probably next year's WrestleMania, but maybe the year after, Orton versus Cena for the WWE title, probably vacant. With Orton at 16 reigns and Cena at 16 reigns, whoever wins breaks Flair's record. Flair will be at ringside supporting one of them, and then after the match, both Cena and Orton retire.
No, I think John Cena is going to want 17 at some point. Right now he's off making movies, making money, you know, in the showbiz like The Rock is. But at some point, I think that itch is going to come back, even though Cena's in his early 40s. That itch is going to come back at some point. I think Cena's going to want number 17 to break it.
I feel like when Cena does come back, there's going to be a big storyline of, you said you would never turn into The Rock. Look at you now.
He even said that, though. He was like, yeah, I was so critical of The Rock, but now I can see what The Rock was doing.
Yeah, but I think, I don't know why we're getting on Cena with this, but yeah, Cena versus Orton, which matches have always been good.
Yeah.
But yeah, as of right now, I just checked Twitter. No new matches right now. So as of right now, that is SummerSlam. Any final thoughts, Tyler?
I just want to know if you guys are excited, so please leave your comments below when we upload this video on YouTube, on our Facebook at JoshMania. I'll plug all that stuff here in a second, but I just want to say one more quick thing. I can't wait for tomorrow. I'm super excited. 10 o'clock. Let's get ready to roll. We go with Thunderdome! Okay, I'm good. Had to get that out. Okay, so that's that. Josh is going to sign us off here in a second, but YouTube, go subscribe to us, JoshMania, Facebook, JoshMania. Go like us. On Twitter, it's a little different. It's JoshMania 2019. I felt like I had to put a number after it for whatever reason when I created it at first. So 2019. JoshMania 2019 on the Twitter handles. Catholic Josh 122. I promise I'm not a creep, but I remembered that. And TJ Talley 25 on the Twitter handles. You can follow us. Usually we tweet about our real lives. We usually use JoshMania 2019 to talk about wrestling. So if you're just following us to talk about wrestling, that's probably the one that you want to follow. If you like us, which is a plus, you can follow us on our personal channels. We tweet about a bunch of different stuff. Like I'll tweet about basketball and football and all this other stuff, and Josh tweet whatever he tweets about. But yeah, so mainly if you want to,
I haven't used my main Twitter account in a while, honestly.
If you want to, like I said, if you just want to follow us for wrestling, JoshMania 2019 is the way to go. But please follow us on the other ones as well. So that's all I really got. I plugged everything. Josh is going to sign us out now. Sorry if talking so long. It's going to be about 55 minutes, 55 and a half minutes. Sorry, we like to talk and we like to get off topic. That's just who we are. Anyways, Josh, take it away.
Thank you guys all for watching. Please subscribe, like this, comment, share this, tell people about. Thank you again. Have a good time watching SummerSlam and TakeOver. And we'll see you next time. God bless.